Top of the morning. Welcome to Friday. You made it to Friday. I'm glad. I mean, okay, fine. So, yesterday was technical Friday for my other, for my quote-unquote primary job. And so now I get to do the fun one where I get to drive into Studio City and Pasadena today to go and enjoy some videotaping of a special presentation of The Sound of Music. I get to watch two separate performances from two different campsites, and yes, of course, videotaping both, but it's a nice departure from, the usual, and I'm good with that. Now, I know, once again, it's just another summer that I have to spend working. I know that I'm looking for a bit of a reprieve coming up this week. And I'll be, as I mentioned before, I'm heading up to Northern California, San Francisco / maybe Sacramento region for the week. So I'll be putzing along the area there. I will be on the motorcycle. And then coming up that next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so that's pretty much the 14th, 15th, and possibly the 16th, but that's going to make for a very long ride home. A last-minute hockey tournament that I was asked to participate in because I just happen to be the goalie that's coming up in the area anyway. So it's going to be motorcycles and hockey next week, just the way I like it. And, I wasn't able to make the trips that I wanted to make this year, but I'm hoping in the next, year or 2 years and, in the not-so-distant future that I'll be able to go and travel the way that I used to and the way that I'd like to again. It's just the way that the dice rolled this year, and it's okay. I'll make it. Anyway, speaking of hockey, if you're in the area and you're in El Segundo, I got another late game today, 10:45 p.m. So basically, way past my bedtime and way too early to play hockey. Yeah, 10:45 p.m. at El Segundo. 555 Nash Street, the Toyota Sports Center. I get to go and stop some more pucks. This will be my last game for the next couple weeks in El Segundo, as next week will be the tournament in Vacaville. So that should be entertaining. I don't know what else is going on, aside from I found out, and I had to pull my reason why I'm not wearing my sunglasses right now is that they broke again. So my I have a pair of prescription lens Maui Jim glasses, and these Maui Jims, they look like wraps. They're in the wrap style, except that they do have the nose grips in the middle. And, having a flat Asian face, it comes in handy to have these grips. And they're great glasses, extremely comfortable, love them to bits. The only problem is that they are not the most durable things on the planet. And that's the part that bums me out about these glasses, is that they're so well designed, and yet there are parts that are weak. And, yeah, so I found out, I pulled out my glasses out of the little protective bag and found out that one of the temples broke again. Which means that I gotta go send them back to Illinois to have them repaired for the second time in 2 years. That bums me out. So yeah, I'm gonna have to ship those guys out again. That's no fun. Since I am on Facebook Live and heading straight towards Studio City, if anybody needs a Starbucks and is in the area of Studio City, please let me know. Put your choices in the comments. Don't forget the size, and I'll bill you later. Yahoo. At least the nice thing about show Fridays is that, it's 7:30 in the morning and I'm on the road, but, not in absolute too much pressure to get there because of the videotaping schedule. I mean, I pretty much have to start shooting at about, 8:45, 9 a.m. and then once again at the official time of 2. So I do have this window of time that is nice, that I can, not have to worry about doing things. I can be a little bit more casual in that sense, which is good. I think the previous Friday, I was able to make a detour up to Burbank to go and pick up some stuff at Fry's Electronics while I was waiting to film in Pasadena, and somewhere in between I was able to get tacos, which was really fun. I'm liking tacos here. It's too early for tacos. It's no, it's never too early for tacos. It just depends on what's in them. So maybe a breakfast taco at this point. I was tempted to go swing by Chick-fil-A and go get their breakfast. I'm a big fan of the breakfast at Chick-fil-A. Or it just might be a Panera day because reasons. So not much going on here. It's just I'm moving. That's all that matters. And I think because of time constraints, I think I'm going to be riding up the entire 5 freeway next week. That's going to be lovely. I have to do some research though. It's been a very long time since I've ridden up that stretch of the 5, so I don't know what the temperatures are going to be riding into that. I'm going to leave early, but it's still going to be, it's still going to probably be hairy. So we'll see what happens. So I found out, so today's Friday, and the ride-in, the Living on Wheels ride-in, just ended last night. And, I know I mentioned it several times, but it is an event that I went to for, several years, actually. I think I've gone, at least 7 times, throughout the years. And, these last couple, it's been very spotty. Haven't been able to go for whatever reason. I know that the 2015 ride-in, I had to fly in. And so the 2018 Women on Wheels ride-in is going to take place in Johnson City, Tennessee. So, if you haven't gotten the memo, Johnson City, Tennessee is the 2018 Women on Wheels International Ride-In site, which, just for fun, I did enter it on my Google Maps to see how far it would be. And it looks like I'd be looking at 2,300 miles of riding across nothing but Interstate 40. Which is a very, very long time on I-40. And if you haven't been on I-40, that is one of the loneliest interstates in the nation. I mean, there are sections of 80 that can rival 40, but I will say with 40, even just starting in the desolate desert area of Barstow, it's a long ride, and I've taken 40 several times. Sometimes in some of those trips, not under the greatest context, but if I'm able to swing it, I think Eleanor will be out for it next year. 2,300 miles. I mean, I could turn it into a competitive iron butt ride if I wanted to. I mean, there's really nothing eventful on I-40. I'd have to equip myself with a lot of music and a lot of books on tape. Temperatures also, because I'm going to be going through New Mexico and Arizona and Texas and Oklahoma. So pretty much the very desolate sections of those particular states. It's definitely a boring ride to get there if you're on a time crunch. I mean, taking your sweet time. If you're taking Interstate 40, what I would usually do is I would hit Tucumcari, New Mexico, and then go up U.S. Highway 54, go through Liberal, Kansas, visit Dorothy's house, go have Long John Silver's in a landlocked state because I can, and then take 54 all the way to Wichita, which eventually gets you to I-70. That's an option that I do have if I were to do that, but when you're in a hot hurry and you have things like limited vacation time, pretty much you can't really have too much fun until you get to your destination at that point. But yeah, so Johnson City, a 2,300 mile ride. I was really hoping for Colorado Springs this year, with it being only 1,100 miles away. We'll see where it goes. I mean, obviously, because of the way my life is running right now, going to the ride-ins is usually on a year-to-year basis, and it also is dependent on whether or not I end up participating in other activities leading into July, and also depending on how summer school is going to work out for me too, going into the summer of 2018, which puts me, by the time I get to 2018, only puts me 2 semesters away from finishing my master's degree. So it's a quick run. I have to say, when it comes to going in for the master's degree, they're not kidding when they say it's quick. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of work packed into a lot of space. I mean, a lot of work packed in a very short period of time. But really, though, 2 years when you're working, it really does fly by quite quickly, and I'm shocked by it at times. You know, it had been a long time since I'd gone to university, as the Canadians put it, and I only spent 3 years at USC because I transferred over. But when I do think about the 3 years that I was there, you know, they're right. You know, time really does fly. You know, when you start a semester and then before you know it, you're already at Christmas break and you didn't even realize what happened. About 6 papers later in a final exam, you're going, yeah, that was your semester, ladies and gents. And you're going, wow, that really did happen. So, yep, you know, being able to do these kind of trips, you know, it's a privilege. I am grateful to have a motorcycle to be able to do such trips, and the motorcycles have allowed me to make more friends than I would ever expect, and more friends than in all parts of the United States. It's a beautiful thing, you know. Lots of places that I'll need to revisit now that I'm in a better place in my life, and eventually I'll do that again. You know, there's a lot of places that. And I also need to tag, you know. So in regards to the number of states that I haven't tagged yet, you know, there's I think 2 or 3 states in the contiguous 48 that I haven't tagged on my motorcycle. I know 2 of them are Florida and Louisiana, and if I were to go to Johnson City, I'd be able to tag those. And I think the other one is Alabama. I'll have to check that though, because I know I've passed through Arkansas. I think it's Alabama, Louisiana, and Florida are the last 3 contiguous 48 states of the 48 states that I need to tag on my bike, all on the same bike. So yeah, no other motorcycle aside from Eleanor has traveled with me that far, and so you know it's been a mission for me to complete it. Of course, ultimate bucket list item would definitely be riding Eleanor all the way to Alaska. I need to consult my Alaskan counterparts in regards to this journey because they seem to do it all the time without trying. Good morning, Joey. How are you doing? I know all this time I've been jabbering away. I haven't even made it to the 405 yet. She's just like, really? But it's okay. It's only Friday. Awesome. So this is the part where I follow this really long truck that transports cars. Yeah, it's no fun. I really miss my glasses today. My sunglasses. I'm going to have to swing by a post office, which fortunately is across the street from the site where I do my videotaping, so I can go pick up a box and ship my poor glasses back priority mail to Illinois. I'm just like, dude. You know, and then the weird part is, and I digress, I go back to my broken sunglasses, but I would just be very happy with ordering the pieces I need, because it broke off at the arm, not at the joint. Because if it broke off at the joint, I'd be completely hosed. I'd have to get a new frame altogether, which would cost me quite a bit. But it broke off at the actual arm itself. So I just need the replacement arms, you know, for the back. And they don't sell them separately. Oh, really? So I have to ship this back for warranty? You gotta be kidding me. This harkens back to some memories I had about building computers growing up. When, individual components would cost quite a few $100s, and then you're trying to figure out, which things, fit where. And, building computers back 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and there was a component for every single thing, and nowadays most components are integrated into a single motherboard, so you only have to install one thing. It's definitely gotten a lot easier. Oh well, it is what it is. So now on the 405, it's Friday and a normal work day. So as expected, the traffic has built itself up again, and I will be sitting for a little while. Probably looking at about 45 to 50 minutes of travel time to Studio City, which isn't very far, but when you're not moving, when you're standing still, you're basically like Oregon Trail status, inching up one by one with your oxen and hoping you don't get dysentery. Yahoo. So what's on your plate today? You're watching this and figuring out what to do. I don't know. A massage sounds good. I think I need to arrange one for right before I leave. That would be awfully nice. If anybody is looking for a good massage therapist, I know one. He's in Lomita, and very, very good. So yes, let me know and I will send you his information. If anyone was watching yesterday, I was in the middle of restoration of some old shows that I had videotaped about 10 years ago, and the current status on them is 2 of the videos are processing, and one of them, that's very loud, sir, it is very loud. One of them is complete. I'm going to be uploading to YouTube later today. There's that. Aside from that, not much else. There was the Amber Alert is still up. There was a carjacking yesterday, and when Amber Alerts go off on the phone, it's almost like a tornado warning. It hits your phone with a really, really loud emergency siren. So there is an Amber Alert, so if you're on the lookout for that made it hard. That made it difficult. It's a Toyota Camry, so that means you have to look for the license plate because everyone here in California has a goddamn, Toyota Camry. That's great. Well, yeah. Anyway. My morning report for today. Set questions, comments, concerns, Starbucks needs, put it in the comments. I will see it. Today sounds like a souffle kind of day at this point. There's usually no interaction this time of the morning because it is like 7:52 on a Friday and people are either at work or kind of on their way or something like that. Yeah. This part of the 405 right past LAX has just started moving and then it's going to slow down again, but I'm going to enjoy the speed while I still have it. Shaky, 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 shaky. So yes, up at 5:45 in the morning, and I'm not going to be able to really go to sleep until after midnight tonight. Thank you, hockey, for making my day super extra long and special. Passed by a billboard that said Los Angeles drivers waste 100 hours a year, sitting on the road. And I'm thinking in my head, that means that you don't have a motorcycle, right? Because, I don't waste 100 hours of my life on the road. I only do it when I have to get paid to do it. Like now, as this stops. So, since I am a fan of the arts, I'm going to show you guys some abstract art. So what I'm presenting to you right now is called Friday. Hello, carpool lane. I would totally ride you, carpool lane, if I had my motorcycle. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do the stop and go thing, and if this gets any slower, I'm going to put my Pokemon game on and hatch an egg. There was a point in time, it was so slow on the 101 that I did do that. I turned the Pokemon game on, and I actually managed to hatch 5 eggs while I was sitting on the 101. That is how slow it was. And then you know it's bad when even the carpool lane's stuck. Here you go. And now it's just, yeah. This is abstract art at its finest right here. Please wait until the ride comes to the complete stop, and then it goes again, and then it stops again, and then it goes again. Whee! Sometimes I wonder if my Facebook Live broadcasts kind of just gives you the glimpse into the California or the Los Angeles that you don't want to see. Of course, I'm just waiting for the motorcycle to come and save my sanity here. It's not all that bad, really. I mean, aside from some of the laws that I have issues with, you know, Los Angeles is one of those places I'd like to stick around for a little while. Especially with how much I had to fight to come home again. I'm good. Let's see, in regards to my trip up north, I was doing a little research. There's this oyster bar up in Marshall, California or something like that. It's just north of San Francisco by about 20 miles. And they have these cooked oysters that they put like really random ingredients on, and apparently they're really good. I'm going to see if I can go up there and try that place. And then, of course, I want to go to Fisherman's Wharf and do my thing with the seafood and the stuff. That would be awfully nice. And since I'll be going there on a weekday, it won't be as ridiculously crowded, and I'm really looking forward to that. Also, there's some, parts of Fisherman's Wharf that I haven't visited since 2007, and definitely would like a nice refresher / memory replacement. I'm looking forward to that too. Awesome. There's that motorcycle that saves my sanity. Oh, here's another one. Honda Africa Twin. I just test rode that bike. I have a review of that one, and that's a Ninja 300. So cool stuff. Shout out to all the people watching right now. Thank you for accompanying me on the 405 on this Friday. As I play Let's Identify the Motorcycle Lane splitting past me on the carpool lane side. I was laughing too because the Africa Twin, the guy on the Africa Twin, was wearing the one-piece suit version of my jacket. Now, I ride with Aerostitch. I'm a big fan of the Aerostitch jacket line, and yeah, that dude just rode past me on a suit. That's one of my personal goals. I think eventually I'm going to purchase the suit, this one piece, that, so I can just ride with that. Good morning, Carla. How you doing? Nice to hear from someone in the same time zone. I am sitting. It's not 111 degrees here, but I am headed to an area that could potentially become 111 degrees. They call it Pasadena. Help. Woohoo. I don't know what happened up the road. Maybe there's an accident. Maybe someone ran out of gas. Maybe someone had to put their car to a complete stop so that they could finish, level 902 of Candy Crush. I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now. BMW R1200R with a top case. 6 or 600. Suzuki. Okay, so at least the bikes are out today.